I've had some weird stuff happen in my life, but nothing ever stuck with me like this. Not the near car crash, not the sketchy motel in Utah. No, see, what happened inside cabin 340 on the Queen Mary changed me, and I swear to you, after that night I stopped looking for haunted places because something found me first. If you're into real paranormal stories, ones that don't have neat little endings, do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe, and keep the lights on. You're gonna want them. So yeah, I'm not a ghost hunter or anything. I don't run around cemeteries with EMF readers. I work in marketing, boring, but I do love old ships, abandoned places, that whole eerie vibe. Couple years ago, I took a weekend trip to Long Beach. I'd heard about the RMS Queen Mary, that old ocean liner, permanently docked in the harbor. They said it was haunted, like seriously haunted. Deaths, drownings, murders, like the works. So me being me, I thought, hey, let's book a night on the ship. But then I heard about cabin 340, a room so haunted that for decades they didn't even rent it out. They sealed it off. You had to sign a waiver just to step inside. Naturally, I was like, well, now I have to stay there. I checked in late. The girl at the front desk looked uncomfortable when I said 340. She handed me the old brass key, not a card, a key, and just said, don't be alarmed by the noise. This ship settles. I remember thinking that was a weird way to phrase it. Settles. Like bones in a coffin? Anyway, I headed down this long, narrow hallway. Thick carpet, brass fixtures. Everything smelled like aged wood and something else. Kind of like mildew and old perfume. Cabin 340 was at the very end of the hall. No windows. Just this heavy, creaking door with a tarnished 340 plate. When I walked in, the air hit me like a wall. Cold still, heavier than the hallway. The room was plain, 2 twin beds, small desk, a mirror that looked like it hadn't been cleaned since the 50s. I unpacked, sat on the bed, and I swear to God, the moment I stopped moving, I heard 3 knocks. Knock, knock, knock. But they weren't on the door. They were inside the closet. I didn't check it right away. I told myself, it's an old ship, pipes, maybe a rat. But deep down I knew, no, that was too clear, too deliberate. Around 11 p.m. I finally got the nerve to open the closet. Empty, no shelves, no clothes rod. Just peeling wallpaper and this weird burnt smell. I left the door open, just to prove to myself it was harmless. But the moment I turned around, click, it shut itself. I jumped so hard I knocked over the lamp. The bulb shattered, and then the mirror started to hum, like an old TV turning on, a high metallic buzz. I walked up to it, and I swear my reflection was just wrong. Delayed by half a second. And behind me, nothing visible in the room, I saw someone standing there. Just for a blink. Like a shadow with no owner. I spun around. Empty. But I wasn't alone anymore. I knew it. By midnight, the lights started flickering. And then the door, that heavy cabin door, started to creak open. Not like it was blown by wind. Like it was inviting someone in. I ran to shut it, locked it, braced a chair under the handle. And that's when the whispering started. Not outside. Inside the room. It came from the corner by the mirror. A woman's voice, soft, ragged, like she'd been crying for years. She said, "You're not supposed to be here." Then I felt it. This cold hand touched the back of my neck. Fingers, actual fingers. I screamed, I turned. No one. But the bed, the other bed, it was pressed in, like someone had just laid down in it. And then, the mattress started to rise. Not float, just bulge upwards like something was trying to push out from inside. That's when the scratching began. From under the floorboards, clawing, desperate. Then, the closet door flew open and slammed against the wall. Inside, written in the peeling wallpaper, were the words, "Still here," in red. Dripping red. I ran, I didn't grab my stuff. I barreled down that hallway barefoot, heart exploding in my chest. Found the night clerk, practically tackled him. He didn't even ask what happened. He just said, "Was it the closet or the mirror this time?" I swear to you, he knew. They all did. He let me crash in a staff room down below. It smelled like bleach and soup. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I asked to speak to management. They just said, "Cabin 340 is closed again indefinitely." They refunded my night. No questions. Didn't even ask for a review. They didn't want a story. But I had one. Weeks later, I got curious. I looked up deaths on the Queen Mary. Cabin 340 was linked to a man who murdered his wife and child in the 60s, blamed voices in the mirror. They found his body in the closet hanged by his belt. I also found a forum, a thread of people who'd stayed in that room before it was closed. Most of the posts were gone, but one remained, just one. It read, "If you see the woman in the mirror, don't turn around. She's not in the room. She's already inside you." So yeah, that's the last time I stayed in a haunted room. I don't chase ghost stories anymore, because sometimes they chase back. Thanks for listening. If this one chilled you even a little, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I've got another true nightmare dropping tomorrow at 7 p.m. And trust me, it's even worse than this one. Stay safe out there, and maybe don't look too long in the mirror tonight.